History has been made in South Africa. Our ladies football team, Banyana Banyana, has become the first senior soccer team to reach the knockout stage of a World Cup tournament. They held their nerve in a thrilling 3-2 victory over Italy to qualify for the round of 16. Now, where does this then put South Africa as a brand? So joining me to have this discussion, I'm joined, of course, by brand reputation specialist Soli Moeng, and I'm so excited to talk about this, Soli, with you. Thank you so much for making time for us. I mean, what a moment for South Africa. There can't be one South African, or even African really, who's not proud of Banyana Banyana.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Tumelo, and to your viewers out there. I'm also very excited to see some good news coming out of South Africa. I think, there are so many prisms from which to look at this victory from a women's perspective and how far they've come, how much effort they've had to put in being recognized in their own country, to what it really does for South Africa, sending out an occasional, really needed positive news about the capability that we have in South Africa, that we can still play a big role in the international arena, at least from a sporting perspective. Of course, it doesn't make up for all the other things that we're doing wrong, but this is really much needed.
Yeah. What does this mean then for brand South Africa, do you think?
Well, in the sporting world, it means that we are a team to be taken, or a country to be taken seriously. I mean, I've had too many votes, commentary about the Bafana failing over the years. People don't have stopped taking them seriously a long time ago. And suddenly we have this team that's coming out. The women are coming out to save South Africa, to say, hey, wait a minute, it's not just up to the boys to position this country. We can play a role, and we are doing it. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing that South Africa is being spoken about on a positive note, for something that is really positive, encouraging. And we've always said many times that sport has a way of bringing people together, especially in our very rapturous South Africa. So South Africans sitting across the board, across the world in the diaspora, must be looking at this and saying to themselves, to their partners, to their friends, to associates, wherever they are in the world, yeah, that's my country.
I definitely saw. Yeah, I definitely saw everyone, waving the South African flag with pride, whether it's physically or even on the internet. I mean, the posters of Banyana Banyana splashing all over social media, some even changing their profile pictures. But I also wonder, Soli, what this then means moving forward in terms of resources that are required to support Banyana Banyana, especially now that, like you've mentioned, they've just cemented themselves to be a team to be taken seriously around the world. Surely there is, emotional, physical, financial, otherwise, any sort of support that needs to help grow this team even further.
Well, hopefully this will be taken as an opportunity once and for all to stop paying different rates of fees and commissions and salaries to women than we do to men. I think we keep talking about these things, but it doesn't seem to go away. So I think it's time that we recognize ladies in all fields, not just in sports, as just human beings who are capable of doing the same thing, sometimes even better than men, and give them the support they need. This team has come a long way. They've had to beg. We've seen so many interviews, so many politicians and sports officials saying things, making promises that were never kept. I think it's time that we make the point that we no longer have to have this conversation about pay, recognition, award rewards next year. This should be like yesterday. This should be when we seal this conversation.
When you talk about inclusion and equality, definitely the gender pay parity comes into play, and I suppose they made such a wonderful symbolism of that, kickstarting Women's Month and showing what they're capable of and how they're so deserving to have equal pay as the boys. Funny enough, Soli, we had this conversation. I was talking to a friend on social media and rather on WhatsApp, and they were so excited about Banyana Banyana. They said, Tumelo, if they're not going to pay the girls, we should all contribute R1 as a country. 65 million people can contribute R1, have an account, get somebody responsible to hand over to the girls when they win the World Cup, because there's so much excitement, it seems, but also camaraderie that they have to be paid what they share. In terms of their responsibility now, though, moving forward, because, they're carrying this huge flag, which is the South African flag. What do you think it looks like post-World Cup?
Well, look, it's going to be exciting. I mean, they know the responsibility. I've listened to some of the interviews. They know that the country is looking at them, the world is looking at them, Africa is looking at them. They know that they're carrying the hope of South Africa in this field, and they're going to give it their best. Even if they don't come out the final winners in the end, I think they definitely have come much further than anyone else has done in the past, and they still, deserve the celebration, to be cared for, to be invested in for the future, just like we did with the boys, and ensure that they get all the resources they need going forward. I think, in terms of everybody contributing, yeah, sure, but you should also do the same thing for the whistleblowers. It's a discussion for another day.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more.
Because if you really think about it, Tumelo, looking at a country brand, there are many touch points to country brand. Sports is one of them. We should definitely do everything we do. We should to even enable the excellence in this area. But I think we should also not neglect other parts that really hurt South Africa's brand.
I couldn't agree there more with you, Solly, right on point, saying there's so many other, parts of problems that we're enduring as a country that we can all pitch into and rally behind, and not only with our mouths, with our words, but with our pockets as well, to ensure that we mean what we say. Lastly, before I let you go, I mean, we spoke about empowering Banyana Banyana, but I can't help think about the young up-and-coming, ladies and young girls who also want to be in the Banyana Banyana first team one day to represent the country in World Cups and platforms of this nature internationally. What do you think then is the responsibility now to nurture that young talent?
I listened to Tembe Khatlana's interview, and she was saying exactly what you're saying, that she is mindful of all these young ladies who want to be where they are today. So it's a good thing that it's not just about them. This is the beautiful part of it. They realize that the world is watching them, but also young ladies in South Africa who have the ambition to excel in sports, in other areas, are looking at them. They are the trendsetters in a lot of ways, and I think we should encourage it. We should invest in it. We should give them what they need to be the best. We should remove the class ceilings from them and other young women in South Africa and across the world, really.
Yeah. Absolutely. Long overdue. Solly, thank you so much for speaking to me. Moeng, brand specialist, talking about the pride that is Banyana Banyana right now, making it through to the last 16 of the World Cup. If you go on social media, just put the hashtag Banyana Banyana, you would see how proud everyone in the country, in the continent, in the diaspora is, and speaking so highly of the efforts and progress thus far by Banyana Banyana. So we'll continue, of course, to sing their praises and encourage them from right here in South Africa.